It's interesting, isn't it? How you can find yourself here, listening to these words, with a part of you hearing and another part already knowing. That this is about remembering something you've always known, but perhaps forgot you knew. We're going on a journey, the oldest story there is, the hero's journey. And you're the hero, not because you're special, but because you are. And every hero at some point hears a call. Yours might be a feeling, a sense that there's more, a weirdness you can't explain, a sensitivity that feels like a burden, or a numbness where you wish there was feeling. That's your call. That's the invitation to leave the ordinary world. You live in a world that tells you what's real, what's normal. It says reality. It's only what you can see and touch. It says your mind is in your head and your heart just pumps blood. It's a comfortable cave, this world. And on its walls are shadows. Shadows of, I'm not psychic. That's weird. I must be making it up. I need to be healed by someone else. These are the ghosts of Christmas past. Old stories, inherited limitations. And for a long, long time, they felt true. They felt like the only reality. And it's okay to have lived there. Every hero starts somewhere familiar, even if it's a little cramped. But then a whisper, a sense that the shadow on the wall isn't the thing itself, a dream that feels more real than waking. A moment of stunning clarity, or a pang of deep longing for connection that nothing in the cave satisfies. This is your call. It might feel like anxiety. It might feel like excitement. It's the signals that your inner systems, the ones that have been dormant, latent, sleeping, are beginning to stir. They're coming online. To answer the call, you must leave the cave. This is the first brave step, and immediately you enter the dark night. This is where the old prophecies of collapse and ending feel real. Because inside you, something's ending. The old software, the beliefs that keep you small, the stories that you're separate, the nervous system wired only for stress and survival. That software is crashing. It has to make space for the new. This phase can feel like a death. It can feel like fatigue for no reason, like emotions rising for no cause, like your intuition went dark, or conversely, became so loud it's overwhelming. This is the apocalypse, which doesn't mean the end of the world, but the unveiling. The veil between the old you and the new you is thinning, and it's messy in the middle. You feel weird and different, good. That's your unique spiritual hardware being detected. It's not a flaw. It's a feature waiting for its driver. You feel overwhelmed by energy. That's your antenna. Once plugged in to a faint signal, now getting a blast of the full broadcast before you learn to tune it. It's not a curse. It's a sign of incredible sensitivity. You feel nothing, numb, shut down. That's the safe mode, the reboot sequence. The system, it's conserving energy for the big upgrade. This is the belly of the whale, the crucial part where many turn back, thinking they're broken. But you're not broken. You're being unmade, so you can be remade. The ghost of Christmas present is here, showing you this moment of transformation, not as a disaster, but as a necessary storm that clears the air. Here on the road, you receive your aids and learn your skills. And the first, most important teaching is this: you're already a psychic, sovereign creator. Psychic just means of the mind. And the universe is mental, which means your mind, your focused attention, is your primary creative tool. The master's skill isn't seeing ghosts, it's sovereign focus. Where you place your gentle, persistent attention is where your energy flows. It's that simple. Your heart is not just a pump, it's a satellite dish, a translator, a tuning fork. The language it speaks is felt. It has 4 primary dialects: grief, the song of release; rage, the song of boundaries; joy, the song of connection; and love, the song of being. You learn this language not by thinking, but by feeling. You sit with a simple gratitude for a piece of fruit, for a breath, and you let that feeling swell in your chest until it feels like a physical opening. You're tuning your heart dish to a frequency of appreciation FM. And a curious thing happens. The more you listen to your heart, the more you can hear others. And the more you can hear the gentle, guiding whisper from beyond the veil. Deep in the centre of your head is a tiny gland. Think of it as a dial on an old radio. Your job is not to force it, but to become sensitive to its adjustments. In meditation, you simply place your awareness there, in the quiet darkness behind your eyes. You're not looking for pictures. You're listening for the change in station. From the static of worry to the quiet hum of peace. And eventually to the clear signal of knowing, insight and guidance that have no words. You learn that clarity comes not from grasping, but from a soft receptive focus, like trying to hear a distant friend by becoming very, very quiet, not by shouting. These practices rewire your nervous system from the inside. Science knows this now. Coherent heart rhythms calm the fear center of the brain. A calm brain allows for deeper states of perception. You're not just thinking positive thoughts. You're biologically upgrading your instrument to receive a finer grade of reality. So you approach the innermost cave, the initiation. This is where you face your deepest fear, the shadow. Often it's the fear that you're truly alone, separate and powerless. Or that you have these gifts means you must be isolated, weird, burdened. Here you meet the ghost of Christmas future. It shows you 2 paths. One path is where you ignore the call. You numb the sensitivity. You go back to the cave and try to believe the shadows are real. The weirdness becomes a secret shame. The longing becomes a quiet ache. The world feels incredibly fragile and harsh because you're tuning only to that channel. Your latent systems trying to come online sputter and create static, anxiety, illness, a sense of life being flat. This isn't punishment. It's just the natural consequence of a magnificent radio being used only as a paperweight. The other path, the path where you embrace the journey, shows you something else. It shows you that the feeling of separation was the final illusion. As you master the language of your own heart, you realize you're speaking the native tongue of everything that's alive. As you calm your own nervous system, you become a place of peace that calms the space around you. Your psychic hit, that knowing about a challenge coming, isn't a burden. It's your crew saying, strap in. There's turbulence ahead, but you've got this. You navigate it with more grace. You see, the end times prophecy was always about the end of inner separation. The reptilian, fear-based consciousness. It isn't an evil empire out there. It's the old fading program within humanity, within you, being phased out by the new download of unity and heart-based knowing. You seize the sword of truth. The truth is, you are the sacred site. The journey to Mount Shasta, to Peru, to Egypt, it was always an outward mirror of an inward journey. Now the mountain is your spine. The crystal cave is your heart. The earth grid is your nervous system. You are the temple you've been seeking. You're activated. You're a guardian of your own energy. You're a translator of the subtle. You don't just have a life. You're in a constant, loving, conscious conversation with life. The new abilities, the clearer knowing, the deeper empathy, the sudden insights. These aren't party tricks. They're the natural tools of a being who's remembering its true job. To be a sovereign creator. A conscious node in the web of life. Co-creating a world not from fear, but from love and discernment. You return to the ordinary world, but it's transformed because you were transformed. You take your place in your community, your family, your work. But now you do so with a secret, silent power. You're the calm in the storm. You're the one who can sense what's needed. You're the one who knows that a moment of true gratitude is a revolutionary act of tuning the collective radio dial. Your very presence, because you've done the inner work of upgrading, becomes a gentle upgrade for the systems around you. The ramifications of this, they're both intimate and cosmic. In your life, you trade anxiety for discernment, loneliness for sacred connection, reaction for graceful response. For the world, each person who makes this journey adds a note of coherence to the human symphony, making it easier for the next person to hear the tune. The journey never really ends. It deepens. The heart keeps opening. The signal gets clearer. But you're no longer lost in the cave, afraid of the shadows. You're the one carrying the light, knowing that the light was always within you, waiting for you to become quiet enough, brave enough, and focused enough to switch it on. And you can wonder now how good it will feel to breathe into that space of quiet knowing and to discover, as you already are, that the first clear signal you receive is the unmistakable, loving, and utterly familiar frequency of your true self coming home. It's interesting